The comet blazed across the New York City skyline. It was a Friday night, the city alive with energy. Little did anyone know this celestial visitor carried an energy of its own, an energy that would change the city forever. 3 sporting events were happening across the city: a track meet in Queens, a boxing match in Brooklyn, a MMA competition in Manhattan. Unbeknownst to the athletes, their destinies were about to collide with the comet's power. At the track meet, Senator Brown, a sprinter with dreams of Olympic gold, felt a surge of energy as the comet passed overhead. In the boxing ring, Commander "The Hammer" Jenkins, known for his knockout punches, felt his strength multiply tenfold. And in the mixed martial artist, Droshan Lewis, a powerful fighter defying gravity, felt a new lightness and power he had never known. These 3 athletes, each at the peak of their game, were suddenly imbued with powers beyond human comprehension. Their lives were about to take a sharp turn into the extraordinary. The comet, a silent harbinger of change, continued on its celestial journey, leaving behind a trail of cosmic dust and a city on the brink of a heroic awakening. Senator Brown had always been fast, but this was different. It was like his feet were barely touching the ground. He finished his 100-meter sprint in a blur, leaving the other athletes in the dust. The time on the board was impossible, a speed no human could ever achieve. Senator was confused, scared even. But deep down, he felt an exhilarating sense of power coursing through his veins. He could run faster than he ever thought possible, dodging obstacles with an almost supernatural awareness. The city, once a familiar landscape, transformed into a playground of speed and agility. He didn't understand this new power, but he knew he couldn't ignore it. His life as a normal teenager was over. He was destined for something bigger, something extraordinary. Commander Jenkins was used to the roar of the crowd, but tonight, the cheers were different. They were laced with awe and a touch of fear. Commander had just knocked out his opponent in the first round, but it wasn't just any knockout. His opponent, a seasoned pro, had been sent flying across the ring, landing with a thud against the ropes. Commander felt a surge of energy with each punch, an unstoppable force that seemed to emanate from his very core. He could lift cars, shatter concrete, and withstand blows that would crumble a normal man. He was a one-man army, a force of nature unleashed upon the world. The weight of his newfound power was heavy, but Commander, a born protector, felt a sense of duty stirring within him. He wouldn't shy away from this gift, this responsibility. Droshan Lewis, the pride of his MMA team, had always moved with a power that bordered on the ethereal. But tonight, he was performing feats that seemed to defy physics itself. He fought and defeated opponents with fast punches and impossible power, his movements fluid and precise. He landed gracefully, his body glowing faintly with an otherworldly light. It was as if the comet had bestowed upon him the ability to control gravity itself. He could walk on walls, leap across rooftops, and even manipulate objects with his mind. The city became his aerial playground, a canvas for his extraordinary abilities. Droshan, always a dreamer, felt a childlike wonder at his newfound abilities. It was as if a hidden world, a world of magic and possibility, had suddenly been revealed to him. As Senator, Commander, and DRO grappled with their newfound abilities, a darkness was stirring in the underbelly of the city. A criminal syndicate known as the Cobra Cult had been watching, their agents present at each of the sporting events. The Cobra Cult, led by the evil figure known only as the Black King Cobra, saw an opportunity in these superpowered individuals. They wanted to control them, to use their powers for the cult's nefarious purposes. His agents fanned out across the city, their orders clear: capture the 3 teenagers and bring them to the King Cobra. The city, once a beacon of hope, was about to become a battleground for a war fought in the shadows. A war between those who sought to protect and those who sought to exploit. Senator, still adjusting to his super speed, found himself being pursued through the neon-lit streets of Times Square. He was fast, but the Cobra Cult agents were relentless, using advanced technology to try and trap him. Just when he thought he was cornered, a figure crashed down from the sky, sending the agents scattering. It was Commander, his fists glowing with power. Before they could recover, Droshan descended from the rooftops, his movements a ghostly dance of combat, disarming the remaining agents with swift precision. They had never met before, but they were bound by their shared experiences, their extraordinary abilities. They were stronger together, And so, under the watchful eye of the comet, which seemed to glimmer with approval, the three heroes formed an alliance, a team dedicated to protecting their city from the shadows that threatened to engulf it. They called themselves TG3. The Cobra cult, enraged by their initial failures, unleashed a wave of chaos upon the city. Banks were robbed, buildings were vandalized, and fear gripped the hearts of the citizens. TG3 knew they had to act. They patrolled the city, their powers complementing each other perfectly. Senator's speed allowed them to respond to threats instantly. Commander's strength shattered the cult's defenses, and Drosham's agility and telekinetic control turned the urban environment into a weapon against their enemies. They faced down monstrous creatures bioengineered by the cult, their scales shimmering with a venomous green glow. They dismantled elaborate traps set for them, their teamwork and quick thinking proving more effective than any weapon. Each victory brought them closer to the heart of the Cobra cult, closer to confronting the enigmatic King Cobra. Section 8. The Viper's Den. TG3 tracked the Cobra cult to an abandoned warehouse district by the docks. The air crackled with energy, a palpable sense of danger hanging heavy in the air. They knew they were walking into a trap, but they couldn't let fear paralyze them. The city was counting on them. Inside the warehouse, they were met by dozens of Cobra cult agents, their eyes glowing with a sinister red light. The battle was intense, a whirlwind of fists, speed, and agility. But TG3 fought with a courage born of desperation, their powers amplified by their unwavering belief in their mission. They fought their way through the warehouse, each room a new challenge, a new test of their abilities. They encountered the cult's lieutenants, each one a formidable opponent with unique abilities of their own. Section 9. Confronting the King Cobra. Finally, they reached the heart of the Viper's Den, a cavernous chamber lit by flickering torches. In the center of the chamber, a figure sat upon a throne of scrap metal and flickering screens. It was the King Cobra, his face hidden behind a mask that resembled a serpent's head. The King Cobra was a master manipulator, a charismatic leader who had seduced countless souls to his cause. He spoke of power, of control, of reshaping the world in his image. He offered TG3 a choice: join him, rule by his side, or face the consequences. TG3 knew they could never join him. They had seen the darkness in his heart, the chaos he sought to unleash upon the world. They refused, their voices united, their resolve unshakable. The King Cobra, enraged by their defiance, unleashed his full power. The chamber pulsed with energy, the very air crackling with venomous intent. The final battle had begun. Section 10. A city saved, a future unknown. The battle against the King Cobra was a blur of light, sound, and raw power. The chamber trembled under the force of their combined might. TG3 fought with everything they had, pushing their abilities to the limit. Senator moved with blinding speed, dodging the King Cobra's energy blasts. Commander met the King Cobra's strength with his own, their blows echoing like thunder. And Drosham, using his telekinesis, turned the environment against the King Cobra, manipulating debris and machinery to disrupt his attacks. In the end, it was Drosham who delivered the final blow, using his telekinesis to rip the King Cobra's mask from his face. The man beneath was revealed, his eyes filled with shock and disbelief. Without any energy left, he collapsed, his reign of terror over. The Viper's Den was destroyed, the Cobra cult scattered, the city was safe, for now. Section 11. The Legacy of TG3. As the sun rose over the East River, casting a golden glow over the city, TG3 stood on the Brooklyn Bridge, looking out at the cityscape they had sworn to protect. They were exhausted, wounded, but victorious. They knew their fight was far from over. The King Cobra might be gone, but there would always be new threats, new challenges to face. But they were ready. They were TG3, and they would be there to meet them, head on. Their story, the story of three ordinary teenagers transformed into extraordinary heroes, became a beacon of hope for the city. They were a symbol of unity, of courage, of the extraordinary that lay dormant within the ordinary. They were TG3, and their legend had only just begun.